Ty, I know you weren't in for all of that big run, but just from your vantage point, what happened there in the third when I think it was 24-2?
We didn't get any stops, and we struggled to make some shots during that run, and we weren't getting any stops. So it's a recipe for failure right there. So we just didn't get stops and didn't make shots. So that's not going to work.
Offensively during that run, you think it's as simple as making shots? Was there a scheme change you noticed from the opposing defense or not getting great looks?
Nah, they did the same exact thing they did last game. Didn't really change much. I just thought we missed. I thought we missed shots from at critical moments. Turned the ball over, and we finished the first quarter poor. We had a lot of momentum, so I wouldn't say it's necessarily a scheme thing by any means. They were still icing pick and rolls on the sides, and we continued to do what they were doing. At least on myself and from what I was seeing when I had the ball. So it seemed like they didn't change much.
Did it feel to you guys like there was a little bit of maybe the wind taken out of the sails coming into that fourth after some of those things that happened in the third?
I mean, they just went on a big run. I thought we started the fourth. We had some momentum going, and then they answered that. And I thought that started with Davion's technical. I didn't know that you weren't allowed to give the ball to the ref, but that just must be a new rule in the NBA. So it happens.
Yeah, during that run in the third, I think there were 2 or 3 timeouts called by Alvin, and obviously we knew going into this you guys have struggled in the third. What are the conversations like in those timeouts as you kind of start to see that unfold?
Yeah, I think we just have there's definitely a concerted effort to talk about our poor starts in the third quarter. Honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't we start the third quarter? They called the timeout first, then they went on a run. So in my mind, that means we didn't start the third quarter poor, but we had a poor third quarter. You feel me? Like, we didn't start the third quarter poor. They had to call a timeout. We made them call the first timeout. So all this, we started the third quarter started the third quarter bad, talk, doesn't make sense because they called the first timeout. Now, granted, we had an awful third quarter after that, but I don't think we started the third quarter bad by any means.
Ty, last game of 2021, just how much are you guys looking forward to a fresh start and just kind of rebooting and looking at a new calendar year and hoping for better things?
You said a fresh start like the season over. We just go to a new year. The date just changing, man. I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. Just a time of self-reflection on the year. Time for I think everybody in general just to reflect on the year that we've had. And make those promises to themselves and their teammates about what they're going to do better, in the following year. So, we play a good Miami team here in a couple days. Obviously, they've been hit with COVID a little bit, so you never know who's going to play. But we just got to be ready to go. Because January, especially the end of January, we got a long road trip, so we just got to take care of home court. Early in January.
Ty, you guys have used, I think, 15 different starting lineups this season. You guys have gone with this same group the last 3 games. Alvin, before the game, made it sound like he's probably going to stick with that a little while, trying to improve the team's rebounding. I'm just curious how you feel about that group and today's result, notwithstanding, just whether there's some confidence that maybe you guys can get something going as a unit.
Yeah, you're right. We've started a lot of different groups, but we've had a lot of different stuff going on with COVID, and then guys getting hurt. I think for me at least, it's felt like when we have our full team, the 4 spot has changed. With Marvin and Mezzi. I think that's happened. So far this season. But I mean, we play together in practice in so many different lineups. We just got to be ready to go to start games. It's not about who's starting games, but when you get in, just make the most of your minutes and let's ride from there. So I think regardless who starts, you just gotta be ready to go.
Ty, just getting back to the question before that, as far as the starts, yeah, you're right about that. The Kings did start third quarter pretty good, but the Mavericks made adjustments. That was the whole key. And then we see, Dwight Powell, going downhill for 4 straight dunks and stuff. So what I'm getting at, was it you guys not responding to the adjustments when they made the adjustments after that timeout, or it was just, they just running their stuff?
They ran the same play like 5 or 6 times in a row. Reggie Bullock set the pin down for Powell, set the cross screen for Kristaps, or for KP, and let him pick where he's going to go, if he's going to go high or go low. And they just kept scoring out of that. They had different variations of that play, and they kept scoring on it. So I don't necessarily know if it's an adjustment. They just kept running the same thing. Then they got different looks. KP went up, hit the three. Reggie, curled over, threw the lob to DP before the timeout. I would just say we just have to be better at realizing what they're running, and we knew what was coming, but they did different variations of it, and I think it came down to a communication issue in terms of, you saw the Kristaps and Dwight ran the pin down, and Dwight slipped to the rim for a dunk. That's a communication error. Kristaps rejected the cross screen, went up and hit a three. That's a communication error. Reggie curled off, and me and Marvin both went to the ball, threw a lob to Dwight Powell before the timeout. That's a communication error. So I wouldn't necessarily call that adjustments on their part. Granted, they made some good plays. They made shots tonight. But to me, that's more us than it is them, if that makes sense. But credit to them because they still, played a heck of a game. But I still feel like that's more our mistakes, than anything.